Now, following on an announcement of more military aid for Ukraine, Britain's Prime Minister has delivered a virtual address to the Ukrainian Parliament. CBC's Tom Perry is in London with details on Boris Johnson's speech.
In his address to the Ukrainian Parliament, British Prime Minister Boris Johnson called the war a fight with no moral ambiguity. He says that Ukraine's fight against the Russian invasion is one of oppression versus freedom, of right versus wrong, good versus evil. Johnson also called out the West, saying that it was too slow to act after Russia's annexation of Crimea in 2014, that it should have been quicker imposing sanctions against Russia to try to prevent what's going on now. But he says that the Ukrainian people have exposed what he calls Vladimir Putin's historic folly. Now, Johnson also echoed Winston Churchill, Britain's own wartime leader, using a phrase that Churchill used in 1940 to rally the British people in their fight against Nazi Germany.
This is Ukraine's finest hour that will be remembered and recounted for generations to come. Your children and your grandchildren will say that Ukrainians taught the world that the brute force of an aggressor counts for nothing against the moral force of a people determined to be free.
Johnson is promising more military aid for Ukraine. Britain, of course, has already provided anti-tank and anti-aircraft missiles, which the Ukrainians had used with such great effect against Russian forces. This new package of aid is worth about £300 million. That's just under $500 million. And it includes everything from night vision equipment to radar to track down enemy artillery. Johnson's speech today comes after his top secret visit to Ukraine last month to meet with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, and it comes as well as the UK moves to reopen its embassy in the Ukrainian capital. Tom Perry, CBC News, London.